Hey y'all, Lauren here, back with another vlog style DIY. But today we're starting on TikTok. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there have been some things going around on TikTok that I definitely think you all need to check out. Here is the first one. So let me go to this video. So first of all, the Chindy rugs, look at this. Taking these and taking them apart, truly so smart. So if you didn't know, Chindi is a Hindu word that stands for scraps or discarded pieces. So what the Chindi rugs are from Five Below is they're taking scraps of all of these different fabrics from the clothing industry and weaving them together to make a rug. And you can get one of these rugs for like $5, and I think it's $5.55 is what I've been seeing. And there have been some amazing DIY projects being made out of these. I've seen people junk journaling with them, making wall hangings, more like an eclectic style, valance for your window. So many different things that you can do with these fabric scraps. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna head over to Five Below. We're gonna go on a little road trip and we're gonna grab one for ourselves, and then I'll meet you back here and we're gonna start going through it. Okay guys, we're back. We got the rug. You can see here, and I literally could not wait. We already started tearing it apart on this side. You can see we've gotten some really pretty scrap fabric so far, but I'm gonna teach you guys exactly how to do this and the process that we went through when we were taking our rug apart. So what you're gonna need is you're gonna need a good pair of scissors, fabric scissors, regular scissors when you are taking this apart. And then we're gonna start on whichever side. You can see here, we've started on this side and already started taking some apart. You can see once we start taking it apart, it can be pretty easy, but also can get pretty tangled. So I'm going to explain that here in a minute. But when you are starting to take your rug apart, it's going to have fringe on the end. What you need to do is just start going in here and cutting that off. And you can see that it starts to fray. So we're just going to go ahead and cut this all the way across the top. And you can actually start taking it apart as you start clipping. But we're just going to clip all the way across. Now, this is obviously going to make a mess. So wherever you do this, just know you're going to have a fabric mess to clean up afterwards. What I love about this is the fact that it's kind of like a cool little fabric treasure hunt. Like you don't know what kind of fabric you're going to be getting when you go through this. So I love that. Love that aspect of it. So what you're going to do is you're just going to start unraveling and you're going to start getting pieces of fabric like this. And one thing I will say, it does, because this is scrap fabric, there may be a chance that you're going to have some type of odor to it. What we did, and what I highly advise you all to do, is you can either wash this rug before you start the process, or you can wash it after you have gotten the fabric pieces out. But honestly, before you start making a DIY project, I would highly advise to wash this fabric. We just put it in a sink with some Dawn dish soap, some warm water and Dawn dish soap. Kind of like used our hands to scrub a little bit and then just laid it out so it would dry, and laid each individual piece out. So if you notice that there is a smell and you really don't like the smell, it is probably more than likely just because these are scrap fabric pieces. Now, you can see it's woven together. It's so easy to just come out. The other thing that we noticed is as we were pulling out these pieces, if you do not trim this thread as you go, you may find it starting to get tangled pretty easily. So if that is the case and you notice that your thread is tangling, you can see here it's starting to get long, so it's kind of hard to pull that out and it is starting to tangle. The only thing that I would advise you to do is go ahead and grab you a trash can. I've got one here. And as you're pulling it out and you see that it is starting to get tangled together, we're just gonna come in here and trim those pieces of string as well, and then just keep unraveling. Okay, we've got all of our fabric. Now, what I have decided to create with this is gonna be like a little bitty wall hanging with some paper flowers at the top, because you all know us, we have to have some type of Cricut element in there. So I'm gonna show you how you can attach these to whatever you decide to do, whether it be paracord. I've seen people put them on paracord if you're creating like a sway type curtain for like a campsite. Would be super cute if you wanted to like dress up your outdoorsy space at your campsite, or in a festival you're going to, or if you want to do this on a curtain rod and create your own like valance or create a wall hanging. I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So you start out with your fabric, no matter what piece you decide to go with, and how you're going to do this is we are doubling it. You can see we have a loop here. We've doubled it here. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your rod or whatever you're putting your curtain wall hanging on, you're gonna put the loop up here. We're gonna kind of put our hand over, grab these two, pull them through like this, and then you're gonna pull it down, and you can see how it creates that knot, and you're just gonna pull that tight and move it over to the side. And then that is going to start the process of putting your colors on there, and you can do it in a pattern, do it randomly, however you want to. And then after we're done, we can trim this up at the very end. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting our wall hanging together, and then I will show you after that. We will start cutting some rolled flowers. Okay, we kind of have the beginnings of our little wall hanging here. You can see how I have looped them all here at the top and just kind of scrunched them together. And then we can come in and trim this up if we want to. Another thing that I wanted to make you guys aware of, if you wanted to, if you feel like there are pieces that are too short, don't be afraid to cut some more and like go in here and tie it on there to make it longer if you need it. Just a thought. So now let's move on to our rolled paper flowers. Okay, so I'm fixing to cut my rolled flowers. I've got my Explore 4 sitting here on the counter. I'm doing 4 to start with. 2 of them are going to be around 8 inches. And these rolled flowers, I'm gonna link you a couple down below that you can use if you wanna create the same thing. 2 of them are around 8 inches and 2 of them are around 4.5 to 5 inches. I was able to fit both of the same ones on one 12 by 12 piece of paper. So I'm gonna cut 2 different colors right now. Then we're gonna roll them, and then I'm gonna kind of see what I want, what I like, and then we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and cut these rolled flowers. And for those that are curious, we are using Celebration Warehouse paper. First of all, it's hands down our favorite paper to cut on the Cricut. It cuts like butter. If you want to grab some Celebration Warehouse paper, we're gonna have that linked down below. You can get a discount if you use code MGL, so make sure you use that code. But we are cutting this on medium cardstock, and I'm going to load this in, and then I'm gonna turn you around. And there you go. Okay, so I don't know if you guys saw that last part. It looked kind of scary, but it still cut beautifully. I just think that was an issue that I didn't have that attached down well enough, but y'all, it still cut phenomenal. So now we're just going to start the process, and I'm going to show you how to roll some paper flowers. Okay, so now that we have some paper flowers cut out with our Cricut, I'm gonna show you my favorite way to roll paper flowers, which can be a headache sometimes, especially if you're starting. So I like using a drill and a bobby pin as the bit, if you can see. And what you're gonna do is you're actually not gonna start in the center, we're gonna start on the outside. And we're gonna put the bobby pin on the outside, and we're gonna start, I actually think I want to roll it this way toward me, and we're just going to start the process of rolling this paper flower. Now I am trying my best to keep it as like even right through here as possible, and let me kind of come in a little bit closer so that you all can see. You see how it likes to move down? If you hold your hands or hold your right through here, and it might be a little tight. Let me loosen it up. So it might take you a time or two to figure this out. Not a problem. So we're just gonna hold this here and start the rolling process. I lied. This is not my favorite way to roll paper flowers, but it does help you get it started if you have an issue getting it started. And sometimes I feel like I can get it to work and sometimes I can't. So this is Craft Fail 101 here at the Makers Gonna Learn studio. I got that to start. It was not working for me for some reason today. So I'm just going to start rolling this bad boy by hand. And like I said, since I had it started, it makes it a lot easier to roll this. And I'm just holding it here at the bottom and just rolling it, keeping everything even. The cool thing about this is as you roll, once you are done, you can let it out as much or as little as you would like. But the reason that we start from the outside is because this piece here on the bottom will get glued to the actual bottom of the paper, so that you end up having something that looks like this with a flat back on it, so that we can put that and glue that onto whatever we are creating. So you can see we have what looks like a rolled paper flower. Now I am gonna bend the leaves up just a little bit, and then I like to bend this backwards so I can add my glue and then let this out as much as I want to and go from there. So I'm gonna grab my hot glue gun, just bending that backwards so that it kind of all stays in one area where I want it to. And I'm adding my glue here. And now I'm just going to place that there and hold that down, and then you can adjust your petals however you would like. Now that's just going to keep the centers together. You can kind of see through there. I'm just going to like readjust some of these petals out, and then there is your cute little paper flower. So we're just going to keep rolling flowers until we have as many flowers as we want for this project. We're gonna try this one more time. Y'all, it just took me a minute. It's like riding a bike once you remember. Now I feel kind of silly that I wasn't understanding it a while ago. So this looks really like it's rolled really, really tight, but just watch. I'm gonna bend this back so it doesn't get in my way. Are you ready? Whoop, whoop. There we go. So that was just me being me. I don't know. Typical. And now we have a cutie little rolled flower a lot faster than doing it by hand. So now you're just gonna keep rolling flowers until you have as many as you want to add to your design. And then once we're done rolling flowers, we're gonna come back and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna attach that. Okay, you all, I started gluing because I got ahead of myself and forgot to record. So I have these two glued down and I kind of have an idea where I want everything. So we're just going to start gluing these down. Now it may be a little hard if you are doing this project. It's kind of like we're just gonna attach each individual one to like a piece of fabric and go from there. But let's just go ahead and finish gluing all of this down together. Okay guys, it's done for the most part. I do feel like I need to probably trim some of these pieces. So what you can do if you wanted to trim it, you could trim up the bottom. You can take it and like cut some of these. Actually, let me just go ahead and show you. So the ones that I saw were kind of like more at a V shape. So if that's what you were doing, what I would do is over a trash can, get some scissors and just kind of start cutting your fabric. And it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just cutting at like a diagonal. And I would start short first and then work my way up, or start by not cutting so much at first and then kind of work your way up. So got that side trimmed off just a little bit. Now let me kind of trim this side. We'll go up with this one. So like you can trim as little or as much as you want. I don't really like this piece right there either. Like that. And then all you would have to do is add some twine or something to the ends, and you have a cute little wall hanging and lots of extra scrap fabric that you can use for junk journaling, some little other craft projects that you have going on. So if this is something that you liked, definitely go check out Five Below and grab one of those rugs and take it apart for scrap material. Like I said, there are so many different things that you can do with this. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you would create with the scrap fabric Chinty rug from Five Below. If you haven't already, guys, make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, we are constantly creating new, fun, unique DIY crafts. So make sure you go and subscribe, and then you can hit that bell notification. That way you are notified every single time we get crafty. I can't wait to see you guys in the next one.